Did you see the trailer for Zack Snyder's Justice League?
I did, because it got like 22 million views in like 10 hours.
Okay.
And it was YouTube recommended, and then all the comments were like, oh, this looks great, and I'm just like, I didn't care about it the first time, and I don't care about it now.
That's fair. Because I did care about it the first time, and a lot of people did, and a lot of people were upset, myself included. I only saw it 2 times because of how bad it was. I only bought it on Blu-ray, not Steelbook, because of how bad it was.
Wow.
But yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to this.
Okay, well, I feel your happiness.
Thank you, because this is because it's a more important philosophical point that it's the whole thing about a vision is better than committee, right?
So like Zack Snyder's vision of what the film was better than a studio getting involved and tweaking it until it's marketable. Yeah,
well, I guess that's like, well, obviously that's worse, but if you're like, it's more of a thing of like, if you're trying to appeal to everyone, you end up not appealing to anyone. Do you think that's true in most cases?
I think that is 100% true. Most things that come out of Hollywood now are shit, right? Because they're to make money. Yeah. So they appeal to the majority of people, and the majority of people are wrong.
Yeah, good. People are idiots. Anyway.
When you have something like the film industry, the whole point is make money to make more films to make more money. But that's not conducive to good art. That's not conducive to a well-written story, right? Obviously, critical acclaim is important. I feel like there's a lot of people who get backing and would get backing for a film that might not make a profit by people who really love the art, right? But I also feel like that there's not enough of it, simply because you can't sustain the industry in that way. So you get like, 1 in every 15 films is really good, and the rest of the 14, 7 are okay, watchable, and then 7
he's talking about Joker for everyone wondering.
Oh, but I don't know. I don't know whether it's me growing up, right? Because when I was little, I could watch anything. It could be the worst thing, and I go back now and I'm like, why did I like this as a kid? It's terrible. And then I go, oh, that's right. There's flashing lights, and the good guys win, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now, like, obviously my interests change. I'm more interested in like a complex story, tension, nuance, dialogue.
But more importantly, the good guys don't win, and everyone's sad.
And to be honest, when the good guys don't win it just makes me feel like I believe it more.
Yeah.
Or even, I don't know whether it's
sad.
I don't know whether this has been done, but has anyone just done a film where there isn't a plot in the traditional sense, and it is just a series of events, and it just shows you things that happen? Because I feel like there's so many coincidences and things that obviously can happen, but like it feels a little bit like people get bailed out, or the story's a little bit too crafted, right? There's Easter eggs and callbacks and all these little things, whereas like on a normal day you don't have that. And maybe it's because people obviously want to escape from the normal, but I feel like if you think about a period of your life that you could possibly make into a film, there probably aren't any. And that's not because we're all boring, right? It's because what happens to normal people isn't necessarily like a really fun and interesting story. But when you have stories to tell to your friends, right? Everybody does. And what is filmmaking if not storytelling? So that's when I don't even know if I've got my point across clearly. When I listen back to this, I'm going to be like, what is he waffling about?
Okay. Well, but then this is a problem. I feel like most people do just want movies, and I guess most forms of art, to be escapism, more than just like, well, this is a reflection. I can really relate to this because this is a reflection of what's going on. It's But then I feel like I guess this is very specific, but there are a few I feel like coming of age stories, that type of category. A lot of them are, I I relate to a lot, and I feel aren't very contrived. It's more just like, oh, that's what happened to me. For example, It Chapter 1. No, but but I do remember watching that and being like, all the non-killer clown parts, I do remember being like, hey, that's fucking my childhood. Riding around on bikes, like riding to a lake and jumping in. It's pretty great.
Do you want to do like a film review type thing?
Well,
where we give each other a film, we come back and we talk about it.
Well, this is a good idea because I used to have a thing with a friend where we would like give each other a book to read and then come back. And unfortunately, I don't read anymore. But
I stopped reading. I forgot how to read.
But yeah, we could definitely do this. We could definitely do something like that where we tell each other to watch a film each week.
Okay. Well, I haven't done any research whatsoever, but off the top of my head, I've got a film that I'd like you to watch called Okja.
Oh my god, let me write it down.
OKJA.
Okay.
It was directed, if I'm not mistaken, by the same guy that did Parasite,
Oh.
which is how I found out about it.
Well, he also did Snowpiercer, which is one of my favourite films.
I fucking hate Snowpiercer.
Wow.
Apart from that one bit with this is the one with Captain America, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And John Hurt, maybe.
Yeah.
And Spud from Trainspotting.
Spoilers from this point on. There's a bit where it's incredible, right? When Chris Evans realises that they don't have ammo in the guns, and he bravely stomps to the front, grabs the gun and puts it against his head, and there's like that tension. I'm almost certain there's no sound in the film at that point for like 3 or 4 seconds, and they don't have ammo, and then it just shit breaks it. That's the only good thing about that film. The only good thing, in my opinion. Is Tilda Swinton in it?
Yes.
She's good as well. There you go.
And also the fact that it's an unofficial Willy Wonka sequel.
You're joking.
You heard about that?
Fuck it, is that serious? Because if so, I take back everything I just said.
Just search on YouTube like Snowpiercer, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory sequel.
Amazing. But anyway, OKJA, Okja.
Okay.
This also has Tilda Swinton in it, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, she must be one of his favourites. Okay, cool.
Yeah, basically the plot is this new super pig has been made. It creates less waste than a normal pig. It provides more meat with less food. And Tilda Swinton's company has engineered it and is like, this is going to save the meat industry. And this little girl makes friends with it, and they try and take it away from her. And basically the point is, even if you could make meat environmentally friendly, at the end of the day you're still taking away the life of a sentient creature that can have social interactions and feel pain, just like us, in all the ways that we are.
Well, I can't have social
animals.
interactions and you can't feel pain, but most people, yes.
Brilliant. So between us, we're the perfect factory farmable animal.
Oh wait, I haven't recommended you anything. I don't know. I recently saw 12 Angry Men for the first time. If you haven't seen that,
I literally have also just seen it.
What?
It's brilliant.
It's really
good. But also,
good.
It's like 40 minutes long. So
yeah, that's true. But I do love the scene where the guy is. It's not the best scene, but it's just one I want to bring up now. Where the guy's being.
It's literally 2 scenes. It's the intro where he's reading it out, what they have to do, and then there's scene 2 where they're in the room.
But there's a segment where the guy's just being overtly racist, and everyone just gets up and turns their backs on him. I thought that was good for a film that came out at that time.
30s.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
It's brilliant. For those who have seen the Family Guy episode and not the original movie,
which is pretty good too. It's a good summary.
Also great. the whole point is, there's a jury. They think that the bloke's guilty. All but one. They need. This is terrible.
No, this is good.
So the way that it works, if you're not aware, everybody has to agree on a guilty verdict to get a guilty verdict. And a hung jury is not allowed, so you either have to have everyone say not guilty or everyone say guilty, and it has to be unanimous. And there's one guy who isn't convinced, and he tries to bring everyone else around to his way of seeing. So I relate very much to it when I'm talking about animal liberation, for example.
Well, but unlike you, it's not the case that he's convinced he's innocent. He just thinks there's reasonable doubt,
Yeah,
and he wants to talk about it. And then, of course, by the end, after they've examined it, was like, oh, actually, there's more doubt than we thought.
yeah, and it's basically, even if you know exactly what happens, it's still so interesting.
It's
and
worth
great
a watch to see how everything plays out. It's also like good detective work, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's quite funny as well, right? Is I decided to watch it just as I started doing a module in cognitive bias, and part of that is something called groupthink, which is like decisions that people make when they're in a group.
Right.
And it just turns out that the film is wholly unrealistic because 70% of the time the guy will just go with the rest of the group.
Yeah.
So if I have anything to say to you that isn't watch 12 Angry Men, is think for yourself.
Think for yourself, maybe.
If you're convinced by your point of view, don't back down too easily.
That being said,
that being said, please take on board logical arguments as well.
Yeah.
Be open to others' opinions, but know when to put your foot down.
Yeah, be open-minded, which, as we know, is not believe in everything you hear. But
which some people think it is, which is mental. You've got these people who are like, oh, if only you were open-minded, you'd understand why I believe in ghosts. And I'm like, I don't need... No.
Right? That's not how that works.
You're not open-minded because you believe in ghosts, right? That's not how it works. Just because you believe in ghosts doesn't mean that you're open-minded. It just means you're gullible.
Well, my favourite director next to Guy Ritchie, I guess, is David Lynch, who did the best TV show of all time, Twin Peaks. But I'm not saying watch all of Twin Peaks, although I am saying to everyone watch all of Twin Peaks.
I think it's on Prime. I think it just came onto Prime.
It's on
it came onto Now TV.
Now TV. It's also on US Netflix, so if you have a VPN or whatever. But well, my recommendation to... I was actually saying this the other day. That's a joke. My Twin Peaks is my favourite thing, but it's not something I would recommend to everyone. But it is something I'd recommend to you, because you would like it as well. But if you don't want to watch a 3-season and 1 movie whole thing in a week... They
have a movie as well?
Yeah, it's a prequel movie, Fire Walk With Me. Watch it between season 2 and season 3. Oh, and also there's 2 pilots, the original pilot and then a different pilot that aired with a conclusive ending in case it didn't get picked up, so they could just release the pilot as a movie in itself, whereas with the actual pilot it's an inconclusive ending and then there's a whole 3 seasons. But anyway, if you don't want that but you do just want a shot of Lynch weirdness, I think I would recommend Mulholland Drive.
Okay.
Which I now recently watched a video essay on it. It has one of the best jump scares in movie history, because it's just done really well.
Well, I just don't want to watch it now.
No, it's only one. There's only one, and it's not a horror movie. It just has one weird jump scare. It's not even a jump scare. It's just some jolt of weirdness.
Okay.
But yeah, Mulholland Drive. Yeah.
I will look into it.
That's what we're... Okay, cool.